One time, yeah. Three times, four times. Doing gang things, living super clean. That done came up. Can't control us. One time for the men doing cane thing. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. Three times for my foe that done came up. Four times cause the man can't control us. One time for the men doing cane thing. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. Three times for my foe that done came up. Four times cause the man can't control us. Look at you done came up now. Get it how you live, mess the game up now. Ain't messing with yoga, but get the flame up. Hey, used to be Toby, but got your name back now. I see ya, paid under pressure. 25 lighters, got them all on the dresser. If it ain't for you, ain't for you then. If you a lame or a sucker, wanna dress you then. Grown up now, bump the childish ways. Got a wife and a bunch of kids to raise. Punch a clock side hustle or a business you endure to ensure that all the bills is paid. Slow clap for your homeboy. Could've turned out like your homeboy. Been on the same block, cooking up the same rock on the cell block lot with your homeboy. But no, you had vision, you had goal. Brand new you on the old time road. Take care of home where you bust your low. Black men don't cheat, screaming bumpy hoe. Real men talk, real king ways. Still in captivity, but minds ain't slave. Got a little wisdom, boy, you PD grade. Giving out the knowledge on the stoop these days. One time for the men doing cane thing. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. Three times for my foe that came up. Four times cause the man can't control up. One time for the men doing cane thing. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. Three times for my foe that came up. Four times cause the man can't control up. One time for the folk that have moved up. Even if you had a slow start screwed up. Used to gang bang, now homie brewed up. Had a little plan, I had them blew up. Look at you like a man right now. Dressed to the T, smelling like a grand right now. And you ain't got nothing from a handout now. Just faith and hard work gets it planned out now. You could've took a bunch of dusty rolls. The hand dealt with a bunch of cards to fold. To stay hot while the world is freezing cold. The same plot, but the story's never old. Slow clap for your kinfolk. Could've been asking what your info. Prosecutor could be trying to do you in for the 20 twins, so you passing out the info. But no, you had purpose, you had plans. I ain't throwing nothing, I'ma say these bands won't impress y'all, don't need no fans. That ain't my God, who is that man? This real men talk, real king ways. Still in captivity, but minds ain't slave. Got a little wisdom, boy, you peep these grades. Giving out the knowledge on the stoop these days. One time for the men doing cane thing. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. Three times for my foe that came up. Four times cause the man can't control up. One time for the men doing cane thing. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. Three times for my foe that came up. Four times cause the man can't control up. Yeah, real man. Sheesh. Yeah. Doing cane things. Living super clean. That came up.
One time for my king doing king things. Mom these hoes cause you know he got a good thing. I submit and I cook and I clean and I never hold back on that pop. I'ma let it rain. Made me honest, I got a ring. All praises to the most high, let it sing. A real man able, sister never came. And I ain't going nowhere, this is not a game. Look at you, girl, you're lonely right now. Settling for bums instead of men the most high. He provide and protect so he get our respect. And he leading us aboard when them chariots fly. I don't really think you hear me though. You can't cross this bridge on some billy goats. Let them save you in the end like a Seminole. Be help me, shout it, let the silly go.
One time for the men doing cane thing. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. Three times for my foe that came up. Four times cause the man can't control up. One time for the men doing cane thing. Dead fresh to the T, living super clean. Three times for my foe that came up. Four times cause the man can't control up.
Shalom and shalom, sisters and cousins, and praise the Lord, saints. It's your favorite housewife, Miss Mono. Hello. I didn't mean to push that again. Hello. Good evening, good Thursday to you all. I hope you all are doing well. I hope you all are staying warm. I hope you all are staying warm. Because it's a little chilly here in the South. Yes, we are gearing up for this big ice storm, whatever it's supposed to be doing. Hopefully it don't do too much of nothing. I don't mind being, on lockdown for a few days. Appreciate that. I appreciate that. But if we could skip the power outages, that would be great. That really be my only beef with being snow, ice here is the freaking power outages. Like, put it underground already. The electric bill is high enough. Put the wires underground and let's skip all this foolishness. But anyway, hopefully you guys are safe. You have your generators, you have your food, you have your batteries, flashlights, everything like that. Shout out to my husband for making sure that we're good here. He's walking around the house putting batteries in flashlights, making sure we had gas and everything like that. So shout out to my husband and all the husbands that are out there getting their families prepared. Just in case you're wondering who I am and you're new here, I go by Miss Mono's World in these content creator streets: Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, all the places the content creators be. I be snapping on Snapchat, doing little things here and there on the internet. If you are not already on the YouTube, head over to the YouTube at Monologue Magad, MONOLOGMAGAD. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment, share it with your friends and your family, your cousins. Share it with everybody. Share it with everybody. Okay. So I don't have when I was thinking about a topic for today, I couldn't Angelina, shalom and shalom, sis. When I was thinking about a topic for today, I couldn't nail down just one topic. I've been trying all week. I've been trying all week. Usually on a good week, I know what I'm gonna talk about by Tuesday. On a crazy week, I know what I'm going to talk about by Wednesday. And this week, I was still trying to figure out what I was going to talk about while I was getting ready to come and talk to y'all. Okay. But so here I am. And I did not want to do the talk that I'm about to do just because of some things that have been happening recently, and I did not want anyone to think that they were the topic of this talk. However, this talk was planned before last week's show. Okay, we did a impromptu show with me and my husband last week because of the whole Drewski situation. But this is a topic that I had planned before that occurred. Okay, so I just want to get that out there. All right. Okay, so what I want to talk to y'all about is what do you identify as, or how do you identify yourself, right? And I know identity is one of them crazy words because it can mean so many things. These days, and in all of humanity, people have put labels on themselves, or they have either been born with labels. Okay, I'm a female. That is the label I was born with. That's what I am. I'm a descendant of slaves. I was born like that. Can't help that. Okay. As we get older in life and we start to make decisions about our religion, our spirituality, and the way that we want to grow up, we choose labels according to how we choose to live our lives in regards to our spirituality. Okay. Some people choose to be Christians. Some will identify as Israelites. Some will identify as Methodists. Some will identify as Muslim, whatever. Okay. There are different taglines for how you want to describe your spiritual being. However, it has really been a sour point with me these days, because it's hard to identify myself and my spiritual beliefs in a way that has one definition universally. If I tell people that I'm a Muslim, then they have a certain image in their mind of a Muslim woman and what she does and what she doesn't do and how she carries herself. If I tell people, if I was from the Middle East and was telling people that I was Hindu or Buddhist or anything else, there would be a picture in their mind of a prayer life and a culture and rules, right? I know that's what I think of. And honestly, when I was younger, that's one thing I used to admire about other religions and other nationalities. They had such a strong culture, strong family life. They were solid in their identities. They knew who they were. Okay. But now, even if I was to tell you that I was a Christian, what does that mean to you? What does that mean to you? There was a time when saying you were a Christian meant you didn't do certain things. You attended church on Sundays. You tried to live by the Bible, blah, 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 blah. And now let me be clear, right? Because I've only been alive for 45 years and I've only been an adult for, a little over 20 of those years. So I'm in no way, shape, or form saying that Christianity has always had such a sparkling reputation. I'm not saying that at all. But we have to deal with the time that we live in, right? Because there's nothing new under the sun. So I'm sure this is not the first time that Christianity has gotten a bad rap because any and everybody started labeling themselves and their activities as Christian. Okay. So that's not what I'm saying at all. I mean, in fact, if we just go back to the advent of Christianity, after the resurrection of Christ, and you see the Romans putting a Christian veneer over their pagan God worship. Okay. So, I mean, boom, we can go all the way back there, right? But that's not what we're here for. I want to talk to y'all today because we can only change today. We can't go back and do anything about yesterday, and we can only control ourselves as individuals, right? I get that. Because I can recall sitting at home when celebrities were talking about, oh, I'm a Christian, I believe in Jesus, and I'm saved now, and the world was applauding. And even as a teenager, I'm like, so they can just say they're a Christian and that's it? Because the Christianity that I grew up in had standards. There were rules. And we've come so far away from having any requirements on people who want to say that they are followers of Christ that now you could say you're a follower of Christ and then turn around and commit 30 heinous acts. And there's going to be somebody right there, but they said they were a Christian. And hear what I'm saying. I get internal struggles. I get struggling with sin. Okay. I'm not here to proclaim that I am perfect. I'm not here to say that I'm above anything at all. No. In fact, many of these mistakes I have made myself. Okay. So I'm not coming in the spirit of condemnation or arrogance or anything like that. I'm coming in the spirit of what the heck are we all doing? We're all responsible for this. What the heck are we all doing? When you identify yourself, people contribute certain attributes to that label that you have put on yourself. That comes with certain expectations. If a coworker tells me that she's a Christian, I'm going to expect her to exercise Christian values and morals. I'm going to expect her to show love to all of her coworkers. I'm going to expect her to be kind whenever possible. I'm going to expect her to carry herself with a certain amount of joy, of humility, of get alongness. You understand what I'm saying? I would expect her to be a peacemaker in the environment. I would expect her testimony to be of a Christ-filled life. I don't expect her to come in telling me about how she was laying up with so-and-so and how she did this to that man and that to that man. It's just certain things I would not expect as someone who claims that they are a Christian, right? And we got to start thinking about it like this. How would you feel if it was your name out here that people were claiming and doing any and everything? Let's take it another level. Parents, how do you feel when your kids are out here acting crazy? Immediate embarrassment because everyone knows that this is your child. Your name is on this child. Everybody knows this is your child. When you see A, B, C, A, and P, you know those are my kids. And if they're out there doing something crazy, now I know their mama taught them better than that. That's the first thing. Look, I know their mama taught them better than that. I don't know why they out here acting like this. How much more? And because in the Bible, God often compares his love for us to our earthly father. If your father would do good for you, how much more will your father in heaven? Okay. So that relationship is often compared. So it's not a far stretch at all. Because now here you are walking around claiming to be a child of God, claiming to be a son of the king, you a daughter of Zion, the progeny of Israel, you this and you that, but you are acting out here acting like a full-time demon. Why are you so brazen and bold about bringing your God to an open shame? Why are you so okay with that? Does nothing inside of you say, well, maybe I shouldn't? Because you make yourself look crazy. Okay, you make yourself look crazy. And I know that you're probably thinking like, oh, well, nobody can tell. And for those of y'all that's out here living a double life, right? What do I mean by living a double life? When you met Buddy, you told him you was a Christian, you told him you was an Israelite, you told him you was Muslim, you told whatever you told him, you gave Buddy a reason to believe that you live your life according to a text that says that you are not going to have sex outside of a marriage covenant. You identified yourself as something that led Buddy to believe that you may drink, but you will not be getting drunk. You led Buddy to believe that you live your life according to a text that says that you will carry yourself according to a certain standard. You will be modest. You will be respectful. You will carry yourself like a lady. And then you turn around and do the exact opposite thing. And see, you be thinking like, oh, well, he's in a world. You know, he don't know the Bible like that. He don't know any better. The devil knows the Bible. What is wrong with you? We have got to stop. And I know people are slow these days, right? We always talk about like how a lot of people are illiterate and they can't read. But you got to stop thinking that everybody is stupid except for you. And like you got the sauce and you can just go out here and have your way with people and nobody is using their brain cells to put two and two together and seeing you for the hypocrite that you are. Just because they in the world doesn't mean they want to tolerate your hypocrisy and your lying. And then not only that, what message are you sending to this person that still needs their soul addressed? Okay? They still need to come to the revelation of Christ themselves. But you are sitting up here presenting yourself as a representative of Christ, doing the same exact thing that they've been doing. So what is the difference? Why do I need to be obedient if all it is the same stuff that I'm already doing? What's the difference? All the way in or all the way out? That's it. If you're lukewarm and he will spew you out. We talked about that a few weeks ago. Nisaya, shalom and shalom. Thank you for joining me. We talked about that a few weeks ago. If you was smiling in my face, right? If you came and smiled in my face and came and sat at my table and ate my food, and I had people do this to me before. You come to my house, you eat my food, you know what I'm saying? I'm sharing with you and we breaking bread and I'm thinking we people. And then you turn right back around and tell all my business, tell lies on me, tell people you never knew me. And, you know, when they ask you about stuff that I said or stuff that I did, you be like, I don't know what she's talking about. I don't know where that came from. No, I don't get down like that. People will call you two-faced. They would say that you're two-faced, that you're a snake, and that you can't be trusted. So why do you feel like you doing it to the Most High is any less severe? Why do you feel like that just because it's a God that you can't see, that that it's not as severe, that does not make you two-faced. When the Bible talks about a person who is double-minded is unstable in all of their ways, why are you okay with casting such a disparity between your behavior and the laws of God? People who may have never picked up a Bible still have the ability to tell right from wrong. And what's crazy is you have picked up the Bible and you still can't tell right from wrong, because if you could, why do you keep doing the wrong? At this point, it's willful sin. And again, I get struggling, y'all. Listen, I've been single, I've been a single parent. I get it. I get that. But we have got to start doing better. At this point right now, I don't know what to tell people I believe. I want to tell people I believe in the Bible, but there are so many different ways that people who claim that they believe in the Bible as well have presented themselves, that it's crazy. And don't tell somebody you were Israelite. Don't tell somebody you're an Israelite. I'm fighting for my life the whole time. I'm fighting for my life the whole time. I'm fighting off accusations and reputations and stuff that I had nothing to do with forming. But because of the people who have come before me, because of the people who have sat on this internet and brought the name of Israel to an open shame, the rest of us are out here trying to defend what we believe in and figure out what can we possibly call ourselves. How do I differentiate myself from everybody else? And see, this is the problem when we start watering down things. I don't know if y'all have noticed this universalism move, but for a long time they've been trying to get all religions to act as one. They'll have them all meet at one place. I don't know what this thing is called, but they do it where all the leaders from these different religions get together and they all talk and like trying to figure out how to like coexist as one in the world. But if we're all mixed up, then there's no boundaries, there's no laws, there's no definitions. We're all just doing whatever. And that is the exact opposite of the world that the Creator formed. In the beginning, it was void and dark. You ever took a bunch of colors and mixed them up? You ever took art class? I know we all probably did it as kids, right? You're supposed to be painting, but you just take the red and the blue and the yellow and the green and you make one big puddle. And then what do you come up with? A big old muddy puddle. It's not even a clear color. Like it looks brown, but it could be a little green. And it's just a mess. It's useless. It's the same thing with everything else. When you try to take this religion and mix that religion and mix it with a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and more importantly, you're trying to put all these gods on the same level. Let's talk about it. You want to make your God equal to the Creator of the universe. And if I believe in the superiority of the Creator of the universe, I can't get jiggy with this. You're not about to sit here and tell me that Yahweh is on the same level as Buddha, is on the same level as Shiva, is on the same level as Kali. No, sir, the devil is a liar. Yahweh, the Creator of the universe, is God of all. But when you start dibbling and dabbling, just like Solomon, when you start dibbling and dabbling, you wind up doing things to worship these other gods, whether you know it or not. Whether you know it or not. This is why you're supposed to examine your ways. You don't just go around doing stuff. This is why be careful when you go into these holidays and these festivals, especially with carnival season upon us. Soon as it starts getting warm and they start having all these parades, y'all, be careful of what you are doing. Yes, our Father has mercy. Yes, he will forgive. But y'all be taking that pride of life a little bit too far. You take the pride of life too far. What do I mean by the pride of life? The pride of life that comes from living and not realizing that you do, in fact, have an expiration date that is not in your control. And so therefore, I'm gonna do this little sin today, and then, we'll get it right tomorrow. That's the pride of life, thinking, I got till tomorrow. I got till tomorrow to fix this. And so, hey, today I'm gonna just live for today. You can't go throughout life claiming God at home, but then when you go outside, you don't. You walking around like Peter. Even though Peter only denied him 3 times, you deny him on a daily basis. What do you mean by that, Miss Mono? Well, look how you're out here acting. Does your lifestyle testify to your relationship with the Most High? Are your actions backing up your words? We love to talk about words and action when it comes to a man proving himself to us, but you don't feel like you need to prove anything to the Most High? You don't feel like you owe him? Present your body as a living sacrifice, which is your reasonable service? We're not asking you nothing crazy. This shouldn't be nothing, because if you're following Christ, that's what you're doing with your body anyway, presenting it a living sacrifice. You are using your members to edify the body of Christ. James 1:27. Pure religion and undefiled before God and the Father is this: to visit the fatherless and widows in their affliction and to keep himself unspotted from the world. James 1:27. You can look it up yourself. And I remember the first time I read this scripture, I was like, wow, this is in here? Yeah, it's in there. We love to call ourselves religious. We love to, I'm so modest. I'm this, I'm that. I'm a daughter of Zion. I'm perfectly and wonderfully made. Are you unspotted from the world? When's the last time you visited a widow or orphan, or even bothered to roll down your window to throw somebody a dollar or two? What are you identifying as? A lot of y'all are out here being trans spiritual. And you know what I mean. Y'all know what it means to be trans? You really one way, but you dress up as another. Y'all really some demons out here playing trans Christians. You want to be a Christian when it matters. When something wrong, all of a sudden you need all the prayer and the fasting. When you need some support, are you tired of the devil whooping up on you and you want to be like a boxer and retreat to your ring? Who do you call? The sisters to get a prayer through, the mothers to get a prayer through. Now you want everybody to pray for you. Now you want everybody to fast for you. But if you would have listened in the first place, you wouldn't be in a situation that you in, feeling like you about to get your block knocked off. And y'all think it's a game. Y'all think it's a game. Listen, it is not a game. Your life is for keeps. This is what you have to understand. Your life is for keeps. This is not some kind of joke. You're not going to close your eyes. It's not a video game. You're not going to close your eyes and die and then respawn to continue in another time. That's not how this works. Once it's over, it's over. Once the book say the end, the book says the end. And the thing is, you don't know. And if you don't hold up the things you're going to do, don't think that man is going to have any boundaries or respect when it comes to you. Exactly. He's not, because you don't have any. and y'all don't come out and tell him, I'm not having sex till I get married, and then turn right back around and have your legs in the air counting ceiling tiles. Why even bother to say it? When you act like that, it's like you're issuing a physical challenge. I don't know how many of y'all used to watch Double Dare back in the 90s when it would come on Nickelodeon, but they had this thing where you can answer a question or do a physical challenge. Y'all be out here issuing physical challenges. I don't have sex till I get married, and he just take that as a dare. Like, oh yeah, now I'm gonna have to show her that she will. Why even say it? Just stop saying it. I have to get right today, right now, and ask for God to help us along the way. Exactly. Larnice, shalom and shalom, sis. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm stealing it and teaching it like my own. Y'all heard it here first. Now I gotta start copywriting my stuff because my husband gonna start taking it. But your soul is not to be played with. Your spirit is not to be played with. And here's what y'all don't understand. Like, a lot of this anxiety and depression and a lot of this mental illness stuff that you be going through is because you are double-minded. It's because you are double-minded. Let's not act like there's not spirits attached to this behavior. And see, this another thing I don't like about certain like denominations. You want to deny the existence of the spirit realm. How could you? How could you? The Bible testifies to it. The torment that you keep going through, the voices that you keep hearing in your head. The wondering, do he love me? I don't know if he loves me. What's wrong with me? Why can't I seem to get nobody to love me? It's because you're double-minded. If you would stop laying up with men, then you wouldn't be expecting them to love you. You're doing it to yourself. Our Bible study next Sunday is about forgiving when you don't receive an apology. Okay. And one of the things I address in this study is the fact that a lot of times when we women meet a man and we decide that we like him, we create a whole relationship in our head. We create a whole relationship, a whole story. We create this beautiful wedding story, and it's only the second date. But because we've created this in our head, we expect him to just go along with it. And when he does not, because he never even told you that he liked you like that, let alone love you, want to marry you, be with you. He never even said that. Okay, so you've created this whole saga in your head. And then when he does not respond in the way that you had it planned out in your head, now he's wrong. When the fact of the matter is, no, you went in there with false expectations that it was never his obligation to meet those expectations. You put yourself in these situations to end up feeling bad about yourself. And it's just the truth, y'all. A lot of stuff that we women complain about when it comes to our self-esteem, how we feel about ourselves, is because we keep putting ourselves in these situations with these men that they never asked to be a part of. And then we feel bad like something's wrong with us. When the fact of the matter is that just wasn't meant to be. There's nothing wrong with you. That just wasn't meant. I don't like the oat milk. I don't like the oat milk lavender thingy at Starbucks. I like my white chocolate mocha. Doesn't mean nothing's wrong with the oat milk lavender thingy. I'm sure a lot of other people like it. I happen to like the white chocolate mocha. I'm not wrong. That's just what I like. And the problem is, y'all won't sit down long enough to figure out if you're what he likes. You just made yourself what he likes because you like him. And instead of you realizing that, you know what, I'm not made out for the game. I'm not made for the game. I want to be a lady. I want to be married. I want to be a one-man woman. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm going to stop playing like this. And instead of you stop playing around, you want to still be out here and then you wonder why you're so bitter, so angry, why nobody want to be bothered with you all the time. You put yourselves in these situations, and then when it doesn't work out, you're wondering why. When the fact of the matter is, if you would have stuck to what you claim to be, you wouldn't be in this situation in the first place. The laws of God exist for a reason. If you love him, you'll keep his commandments. It says that multiple times. But here's T. Here's T. If you love yourself, you will keep his commandments. If you look at the commandments, something I noticed, the commandments show you how to love the Most High, love yourself and your family, and how to love your neighbors. It's all in there. That's why the greatest two commandments, love the Most High with all your heart, mind, and soul, and love your neighbors as yourself. That doesn't mean that, oh, these are the only two commandments. This means if you go through the commandments, they show you how to do that. So if we're not keeping the commandments, look at what you're not doing. You're not loving the Most High. You're not loving yourself. You're not loving the people around you. What are you walking around? What spirit are you walking around in? Because it's not love. You can't want to drop the Christian title when it's good for you and feel like those of us who are trying to be steadfast still have to acknowledge you as a Christian. I'm sorry. What do I mean by that? If I seen you out here out of town thugging with your rounds, and then we come back to study and I need prayer, I'm not going to ask you to pray for me. I'm not going to ask you to pray for me. It's okay, sis. You stay over there. I seen you. You stay over there. If I know you out here being a city girl, doing the Meg the Stallion, when it's time to get a fasting partner, that's okay, sis. You just, I'm good, sis. Thanks. I need help. I need a breakthrough. I catch you out in the street, halfway dressed, being all loud and immodest, and then you want to come up and, hey, no, ma'am, I don't want to be associated with that. Don't come over here with that. Because you're going to attract elements that think that that's cute, and that's not what, go on, sister. We'll see you at study. Go on. You can't have it both ways, sis. Either you're going to be a woman of God or you're going to be a woman of the streets. You cannot. The day and time that we live in do not allow for such fence sitting. The way that they are so flippant about sex, it's even to the point where they're sitting up on TV talking about, here, take this. Don't worry, you can't get HIV from me. I saw a commercial or something, and this man sitting up here and talking about how, yeah, my load is undetectable, so I can date just like anybody else. Sir, excuse me? Excuse me? Listen, it's still HIV in there. I don't care if you talking about it's undetectable. It's still in there, ain't it? You're not cured, are you? It's still in there. So now you want me to get injected with some drugs so I can be injected with your virus? And y'all are falling for this? For those of y'all who care to protect yourselves? I know it's some of y'all out here raw dogging strangers. Don't know him from Adam's house cat, but here you go. And with no protection, no less. With no protection. That's what my mama used to call it, counting ceiling tiles. Laying on your back, counting ceiling tiles. He will get on here in a few months and act like you're taking it from him. He will. He will. Everybody can slip and fall, but living a whole lifestyle as sin doesn't count. Is that exactly? Listen, we all have our mistakes. I'm not saying anybody's perfect. I'm not saying that at all. I make mistakes. We all make mistakes. But there's a difference between making a mistake. It's like when you trip, right? If you're walking and you trip, sometimes you trip and recover immediately, and sometimes you trip and fall. Sometimes you trip and fall and can't get right back up. Okay, so it's like that. Okay, trip. Oop, let me recover myself real quick. Father, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. I'm not. And I can even understand a trip and fall because sometimes that thing might just have you. The bills was tough this month. I ain't want to have to, I ain't want to have the sticky fingers again, but I didn't see no other way out. My faith was lacking. I didn't know how I was going to feed my kids. My faith was lacking. And so I took a couple things from Walmart. I didn't know how this was going to be done. Y'all know what y'all be doing to get money sometimes when your faith is lacking. But to trip and fall and stay there, that's when it becomes like, okay, you just want this. This is what you want to be doing. When you go to Isaiah, what is it? Isaiah 3:16, the one where it talks about the daughters of Zion are haughty and all the problems we would have with our hair and staring with the wanton eyes. When you go right to the next chapter, it talks about a time when 7 women will come to one man, saying, just take our shame. That's all one section. I know we might break it up as if that's a different part because you got, boom, the chapter 4, but that's all. It's all continuing because y'all was acting like this. Now y'all got to live like that. And even in this day and time, when you see it happening, we have social media. How many times do you flip through social media and see a Black woman with alopecia or something wrong with her hair getting a wig installed or something else? How many of them before and afters have you seen? And it's majority us. Sitting up here arguing. Okay, you said it. Calling the sugar daddy, you said it. We've got to come to, and listen, I'm here to address women. Okay, I'm here to address women. I don't believe it's my place to address men. They live a totally different life. I mean, first of all, the Bible says that's not my place. Secondly, they live a totally different life. Okay, this is another mistake that we make. We get to thinking that men and women are the same. We are totally not the same. Not at all. I can tell you from birth it's different. I've had daughters and I've had sons. Different. 2 totally different lives. Even as babies. The temperament is different. The care they require is different. And so you can't do what boys can do. We as women, I feel, are responsible for a lot of the condition we are in because we have allowed ourselves to be removed from our commitment to God and to our people. It's not just his people, these are our people. We fail to see the weight in who we are as individuals, not understanding that you as an individual can build a family. When you build your family, now you can reach another family. This family reaches another family. Now you have a strong community of believers. You can't begin to change a nation without a strong family. You can't have a strong family without a strong man and a strong woman. I'm not saying a perfect man or a perfect woman. I didn't say a wealthy man or a wealthy woman. I said a strong man and a strong woman. What do I mean by a strong woman? Don't get me twisted because I'm not out here talking that black independent woman stuff. That is not what I'm saying. I mean strong in the spirit. I mean strong, able to resist the temptation of the world because it's out there. It's coming, especially if you look like anything. Oh, it's there. But are you secure enough in what you've chosen to identify yourself as that you know that, okay, no, this I have to live this way. I have to live this certain way. I can't do those things. That's against who I am. I'm gonna tell y'all what, a lot of this I feel like a lot of the reluctance to stick to your morals and your beliefs and the laws of the Most High is because you don't want to be thought of as bougie. You don't want to be thought of as arrogant. You don't want to be excluded. You don't want him to look at you and be like, oh, you doing too much. You asking for too much. Let me tell you something. Nothing was a quicker stop sign for me than a man telling me I'm asking for too much. Okay, bye. Because I'm not asking for too much. I'm just asking for too much from you. I'm not asking for too much. You just don't have the capacity to give me what I'm asking for. Cool. It's not my job to dumb myself down to make up for your shortcomings, but that's what we continuously do. And it's not even just with men. We do it with other women too. When you're just lonely and you want a friend. And you know she ain't on her stuff like talking about, but oh well, I just need a friend. Stop rejecting God's seclusion. It's not meant to punish you. It's meant to grow you. I don't understand people that don't like being alone. I don't. I don't get me wrong. I love my family. If I have to be around anybody, I want to be around my husband. That's my best friend. Like I don't want to go anywhere without him. Okay. I don't know what y'all be on. I don't need no girl trips. Why I want to be somewhere without my husband? That's crazy. Right? I also enjoy the moments that I get to myself. It's just time for me to be, time to breathe. I ain't got to worry about nothing and nobody right now. I can just be myself. And let me tell y'all something. A lot of y'all single sisters are rushing into marriage, not understanding what it is going to require of you if you intend to have a good and healthy marriage. You have to give 1,000% of yourself in a marriage. Everybody want to talk about 50-50. No, it's 1,000. It takes two whole individuals. And then what happens during the process of a marriage, or the way I picture it, you mold and change yourselves to become one. You conform to each other to become one. Ladies, I'm going to tell you this, and I've said it before, but I feel like I should say it again. You need to know what you're agreeing to conform and mold and to become one with. That's something y'all don't check before you get married because you be all hot in the pants. Talking about, well, it's better to marry than to burn. Is that the kind of life that you want? If you come and tell me, well, it's better to marry than to burn, I'm gonna assume that you was just so freaking hot in the pants that you had to take this man and you didn't really want to. But I'm just so hot in the pants. Slow them pants down. Cool them pants off. Cool it off. That's not the answer. If you say you're a woman of God, do you consider how you out here making God look? Or other women of God as well? Because it's just like being black. You know, if one of us do something, all of us get labeled with it. Or there go them blacks again. There they go acting up. Or you'll see it under the Facebook post. Oh, it's the usual suspects. Here they go again. Or it's them again. They always. It's never, look at this one black man. Look at what he did. It's never that. It's always them, them, them. You do the same thing to us when you walk out here identifying yourself as a Christian. Especially considering the temperament of the world toward Christianity right now. You have Bible-based Christianity having to fight with American nationalist Christianity and all other branches of Christianity. Whoever wants to call himself that, the KKK consider themselves Christians. And this is why people should not have to go by what you say. They should be able to look at the life that you live to come up with a determination on how you identify yourself. Because true T, that's how you identify yourself. I could walk up to you today and tell you, I don't know, like, because I wouldn't want to identify as nothing but me. Like, I'm a black woman and I love that. Okay, but I could walk up to you and tell you that I'm really white, right? Like, yes, I just have a fabulous tan, but under here, I'm a Caucasian woman. But as soon as you hear me talk, as soon as you get in my car and hear the music, as soon as you, like, there are going to be things that are going to give me away to where you're going to be like, she ain't white like she's talking about. So it's the same thing when you walk around and call yourself identifying as a Christian. You're going to do something. You're going to behave in some kind of way that's going to let the people around you know, like, she ain't what she's talking about. More importantly for you, though, I'm trying to think. There was a movie, and I can't think of this particular movie. Was it? Did he have on a mask or something? So you've seen movies and stuff where the person will be like, if you ever seen a movie where a person was playing like they were somebody else, or like one person died and another person was acting like they were that person. And I've seen a movie like this recently. I just cannot picture it in my head. Right? But so the person that's acting like the other person, they have to remember to answer to the other person's name. Okay, like if his name is Johnny and Peter died, and now he has to act like he's Peter outside but still be Johnny at home. He got to remember, okay, when I'm out in public and somebody calls Peter, I have to answer. When I'm at home and somebody calls John, because they're not going to call me Peter at home, so when they call me John, I have to answer. You have to remember all these names and all these things that you're supposed to be doing, because Peter didn't like cold water, but John does. So now when John is out in public, he got to order hot water like Peter. You understand what I'm saying? You have to memorize two different personalities. And I can't imagine having to do that, because my personality alone, you know what I'm saying? That's a mindful. So now you're out here having to remember to live two different personalities. And if that's not being double-minded, baby, I don't know what is. You're out here calling yourself a Christian as if the old man has passed away. You want to walk outside dressed as the new man, right? You want us to, because you're a trans Christian. So you want us to, when you outside, see the new man. Just like a drag queen. They walking around their house, 5 o'clock shadow, a bald head, hairy as heck, and everything else, all big and manly. But because he came outside in some lipstick and a wig, he want us to acknowledge him as a woman. And that's how ridiculous you look when you feel like that when you want us to, when it's convenient for you, now we can identify you as a Christian. Now you want to be one of us. But when your other friends are around, or you having a bad day, or you just feeling off, now you want to resort back to the old man. It don't work like that. You can't be the old man and the new man at the same time. You have to choose one. You cannot live both in the past and in the present at the same time. Narrow is the path to righteousness. It's not wide, it's not welcoming, it's not a universal acceptance. It's none of that. It is a very narrow path that requires allegiance to the creator of the universe and his word in the name of his son. I was on Threads the other day, and this lady had posted about being an AKA, and she was saying that they told her that as an AKA she has to wear skirts to all of their meetings and all of their functions and stuff like that. And like, I don't believe that you should be a part of a sorority anyway, because they have their own God worship and everything else like that. It's not a secret anymore. But the fact of the matter is, she went and paid these people to be a part of their organization just to turn around and try to tell them that she didn't like their rules. Now, here's T, because she knew the rules before she joined the organization, right? She knew the rules. It's not a secret. I'm pretty sure they make sure you know what you're getting yourself into, okay? She knew the rules. She still went through the process. She still paid those people to join their organization. And then when she got up in there, she decided that, oh, I need to make some changes now. That's how y'all be trying to do Christianity. You know the rule. The rules are available to you. They are available in a hardback book. They are available on an iPad. They are available on a phone. They are available in multiple apps. The rules of Christianity are not hidden. It is not a secret at all. We don't hide them. We very much shout them from the mountaintop. You read the rules and you felt like, oh, I'm going to come in here. I'm going to do my little repentance prayer. I'm going to come up in here. And now that I'm up in here, I'm going to decide that I want to redecorate this thing to look the way that I want it to look. And no, ma'am, no ham, no turkey. Because even more superior to any organization in this world, you're not going to change the mind of God, our creator. What is wrong with you people? What is wrong with you? Trying to make the word say what you wanted to say, trying to twist it and make... Y'all had it wrong the whole time. Had it wrong. The words are right there for you to read, honey. You cannot be lukewarm. That is the worst thing to be. When my husband and I were dating, he was telling me a story about something. I don't remember. I remember what the story is about. But my response to him from that story was, it would be a shame for other people to benefit from the gifts that God has given you and you not benefit from it at all. What do I mean by that? If you grew up in church, Twana, Shalom, and Shalom. Excuse me. All right. If you grew up in church, right, and they've ever told you that you had any kind of calling for ministry on your life, they told you you're supposed to be an evangelist, a preacher, a teacher, whatever. Once they figured this out about you in church, they stayed on you about it for your life. Like they would constantly remind you. I know they constantly used to remind me. So they will constantly remind you. Like people are praying for this outcome for you. Like once it's been determined that, okay, this is your purpose, people are praying for this outcome for you. They want you to be that. You can fight that all you want to. You can. You can walk in disobedience. You can go out here and decide you're going to be the most criminal ever. You going to be hell on wheels. Slicing and doing whatever you think you big and bad enough to do, you're going to set out to do it. And you will pay the price for living that life. You will end up in jail. You will end up in prison. You will end up poor, broken, lonely. You will end up all of those things. But inevitably, because God's word cannot come back to him void, you will have witness to some people along that way. And those people will be living saved, sanctified, Holy Ghost filled, full of joy, full of peace. Because of what you said. But because you didn't do what you said, you're living in hell. Please understand that your purpose is going to be fulfilled, whether you go along with it happily or whether you have to be dragged, kicking and screaming. God is going to get his purpose out of your life. And the more you fight, the harder you're only making it for yourself. And once I realized that, I added that to my prayer. Like, Lord, please don't have me out here helping other people, and I'm sitting up here living like whoever and whatever. I don't want that to be my story. But that's how a lot of y'all are out here living. Because if the light is in you, it's in you. My kids always be like, it's not in me, it's not on me, it's in me. It's not on me, it's in me. That's what they say. So if the purpose of the Most High is on your life, baby, it's not on you, it's in you. You're not getting away from it. I'm sorry to tell you that. Before I formed you in your mother's womb, I knew you and called you a prophet to the nations. Do you think that only applies to Jeremiah? You wanted to apply when you want to talk about promising a good future. That's when you want God to know you. You want God to know you when it's time for the riches and the wealth and the cars and the houses and the land and the boats and the clothes and the hoes. That's when you want God to remember you. But when it comes time to carry out that purpose on your life, when it comes time to lift him up, when it comes time to use your voice for his glory, then all of a sudden you leave me alone. I don't want to do it. No. Can you just forget that you ever... I'm tired of being embarrassed of being a Christian. I'm tired of being embarrassed of calling myself an Israelite. I'm tired of feeling like I have to explain to people when I say I'm a Christian what exactly that means. I hate that I have to do that. I hate that my sisters are constantly tried when they try to live right. I hate that they can't get the respect that they deserve. If you're not going to be a woman of God 24/7, stop calling yourself a woman of God. If you are not going to love God with all of your heart, all of your mind, and all of your soul, then stop saying you love him. Stop saying it, because you don't. If my husband was out here not paying the bills, treating me bad, neglecting me, not talking to me, wasn't spending no time with me, was out here in other women's faces, and he sat in my face and told me he loved me, I would tell him, you're lying. You don't love me. Your actions do not line up with that of a person who loves me. The man who loves me wants to be in my presence. He wants to be with me as much as he can. He's checking on me. He's concerned about me. He's going to make sure I'm safe. He's going to make sure I'm secure. He's going to make sure I'm taken care of. You're not doing any of those things. So when you tell me you love me, that is a lie. But if I was to tell you that that same principle applies to God, y'all would be telling me, oh, you're taking it too far. How are you going to tell me that? I'm just telling you what the Bible says. Miss Mono didn't say that. I might have repeated it, but I can tell you, I can show you. I can show you. I didn't make it up. Something that gets frustrating about being older is that we've cut through all the BS. I've cut through a lot of the BS and the rigmarole and the extra reasoning and the extra explaining. I have come to realize that some things in life are just because they are. Some things are just because they are. We did not have a hand in creating the heavens or the earth at all. So who are we then to look at the Most High and tell him, well, I don't like the way you did that, and I think you need to change it. I don't like this rule. I don't like this law. I think it needs to be changed. But we do it. But we do it constantly. I don't like to preach messages or teach messages or talk about messages of doom and gloom and destruction is heading for you and blah, blah, blah. But I would be a fake and a phony, and I would not be doing what the Most High sent me to do if I did not come and tell you to stop playing with his name like that. Stop playing with his name. Stop playing with his mental. Stop playing with his top. Stop playing with God like that. Lest you end up like Jezebel being eaten by dogs. It's time for us to wake up. It's time for us as women to get it together. We're the ones that set the standard. Yes, men hold the key to relationships, but it is the woman that sets the standard for that relationship. My husband could love me all he wants to. It was up to me to decide if this is the kind of love that I want. Do I want to be loved like this? Is this the kind of life I want to live? You have got to start setting the standard. And the fact of the matter is, if you can't uphold the standard by yourself, why should God send you a husband? Why? Because all you're going to do is not uphold the standard with him. And then you're going to have some non-standard upholding children. And then when the police have shot your child or your child end up in jail somewhere, you're going to want to know, well, why? What happened? Where's the standard? And I'm not saying that any parent is perfect or any parent has one up on the other, but Train up a child in the way he should go. A son left to himself is a shame to his mother. The Bible even talks about if your daughter seems to be a little carefree, yeah, you need to spend a little more time watching that one. It's in the Bible. But you refuse to acknowledge the Bible. You refuse to acknowledge all the words in the Bible. The only word you want to flip over is John 3:16 and anything that talks about love. And what's that? In the beginning was the word, and the word was God, and the word was with God. You cool with that? You cool with that? You cool with the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want? You're cool with that? But did you read the part in Psalms where it talks about a strange woman and how she's never in her house? And did you relate that to how you always talk about, we outside tonight? It said in the Bible that you would be outside. It's in there. Listen, when I be finding this stuff in the Bible, it's in there. It's in there that you will always be outside, that you would hate at home. It's in there. When you ever seen a loaf of bread get moldy? And I know bread don't mold no more like it used to. So, ooh, child, if you buying like regular bread out the grocery store, you probably ain't seen none mold in a while. But if you were able to get some fresh bread, and you see after a couple of days it starts molding, right? I don't know about you, but if I see mold on bread, I'm not going through the bread to find something that's not moldy because those spores have already started growing in the bread. And in fact, if you try to bite it, because I did try it before, okay? I did try it when I was younger and you could taste it. You can taste that something is wrong with this bread, okay? How the Bible says, a little leaven leaveneth the whole lump. It's that same kind of thing. And so when you only choose to read certain parts of the Bible, you're not allowing this thing to grow in you. Does that make sense what I'm saying? I think I might have twisted what I meant to say. That's not what I meant to say. I'm trying to this one of them freestyle chats, y'all. Okay, so work with me here. Okay, I'm talking about the mold in the bread, a little leaveneth the whole lump. I don't remember where I was going with that. So let's talk about something else. It'll come back to me in a minute. Let me run through these comments. Hey, y'all, it happens. He that says, I know it's him and keepeth not his commandments is a liar and the truth is not in him. Okay, there you go. I ain't have to call you a liar. It's right there. Thank you. Thank you. That's why people run from the truth. Some don't want to hear the God-given truth that's in the word. They don't. And so here's another thing I wanted to say too. If you do decide to tighten up, or if you're already like in a season in your life where it seems like everybody's leaving you when you're trying to live righteously, they are not rejecting you. They're not rejecting you. Okay. This is something I had to work on, understanding myself. They're not rejecting you. If you're speaking the truth and you're coming in truth and love, let me say that, love, because you got to have the knowledge, but you also have to have the fruit of the spirit, okay? What does it say? Season your speech with salt, okay? So if you're coming in this wise and people are still rejecting you, it's not you they're rejecting. It's the truth of the word that they're rejecting. Okay. So don't take it personal. There's nothing wrong with you. It's not you. There's nothing you can do to change what they're going through spiritually. It's just your job to be on the side of right. Okay. It takes much. Yeah, it does take a lot of work to transform your life. Repentance is just the first step. I know a lot of times it gets broken down to us like, oh, all we have to do is say we're sorry and keep on going, right? But repentance is not just asking for forgiveness, to repent. As in do again. Okay. So anytime you see you're doing something or you're turning around. Like when you hit the return key or the enter key on the keyboard, the cursor goes to the beginning of the next thing, right? It goes back and then you can keep going. The point of repenting is to go back and ask for forgiveness, turn to a new thing. If we want to take it like on a computer, what happens when you hit enter? You go to a new line. You don't stay on that same line. You hit enter, now I'm on a new line. I can write new things. This is a whole new blank space for me to start all over again. But unfortunately, what we've done under this hyper grace doctrine is believe that, oh, I can keep punching you and I can keep punching you. And as long as I come back and just ask you to forgive me, then you have to accept the fact that I'm punching you. And not only do you have to accept the fact that I'm punching you, you have to believe that I love you while I'm punching you like this. I love you so much. You're so wonderful to me while I keep punching you. Does that sound right? And while some of y'all might say, no, I need you to examine how you're doing that in y'all lives because some of y'all are in some abusive relationships. So you might be saying it doesn't sound right, but the way you're living like it sounds right. Just a little sidebar. But if I tell my husband that I don't like petunias and he keeps bringing me petunias, well, now I'm starting to feel like you don't like me because I told you that this is not what I want, but you keep giving me what I don't want. Are you doing this on purpose? Are you trying to piss me off? Why do y'all feel like the Most High in his conclusions, like why do y'all feel like he has trouble coming to conclusions? Do you feel like he don't know what that 2 + 2 is for? Why are y'all treating him like he's slow? And see, this is the problem because our relationship with the Most High is meant to, um, our earthly relationships, our earthly relationships are meant to mirror our relationship with the Most High to help us understand him more, right? Like how it compares his relationship with us to a parent and a child, or even a husband and a wife. So these relationships are meant to give us more insight into the Most High and our relationship with him. And so if you know that there are things that you would not do or principles that you would not carry out in your earthly relationships, why is it okay for you to do it to the Most High? Why is that okay? I don't like to be fake. I've never been a phony person. I just can't do it. I can't do it, especially if I know you don't like me. Like, no, I don't want to come kick it with you. No, I don't. In fact, I don't. I've never been able to be phony. I've never been able to put on fake smiles. I've just not been that kind of person. You're not fooling God. You're not fooling him. He already knows. He saw you. Ever present. You only want him to be ever present when you need help, right? When you stuck somewhere, you need him to see you and help you. Then you want to be sending up signals and flares. Please help me. But when you want to go and do your little 1-2, please close your eyes. Don't look this way. And it don't work like that. You want him to be all knowing when it's an issue that's bothering you and you just still can't find the words to articulate that feeling and you're in prayer. You want him to know, you want him to be all knowing then, don't you? Until you out doing something you ain't got no business doing. And then it's like, oh no, just don't, no. Turn your head. Don't look. You don't have to know about this. You can't turn your relationship with God off and on. But I also want to say that you may need to clear up some misconceptions about your relationship with the Most High too. Like, I do want to say that. Um, our grandmoms and moms, they may have handed down some incorrect teachings or some misunderstandings, and that's okay because we're supposed to grow it in knowledge as we grow, right? There's nothing wrong with that. So maybe you need to clear up some misconceptions about how your relationship with the Most High is to be conducted. And if you would like to, you can DM me and join our Bible study group chat where we talk about this very thing, okay? Shameless plug, had to put that in there. I want more than anything for all of my sisters to be at peace, to live in joy, to dwell in the fruit of the spirit, I just want y'all to be elevated. I want you elevated. But you cannot come to the Creator for elevation and think that you're going to take some other ingredients and add it to his recipe and still get the same result. Okay? My mom taught me how to make this delicious pecan glazed something. No, it's a brown sugar pound cake. I think that's what it's called, brown sugar pound cake. But when I tell you this cake is so good, like we banned her from bringing that cake to our house because it always gets eaten, but somehow it always get over here. But anyway, my mom taught me how to make this cake, right? Delicious. But now if I go over there and try to take some of her stuff away, right? Because I don't like the fact that I can't murder. You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody gets on my nerves. You mean to tell me I can't take them out? I don't like that. So we're going to take this out of here. You mean to tell me that I have to be kind to all people as long as possible? Okay, we're going to take that out of here. And yeah, I may not want to dress modest. So we're going to take that out. And so I do want to be able to expose myself as much as I want to. So we're going to put a little bit of that in here. And boo with all this patriarchy, I would like a little more female control. So I'm going to add some feminism to it. And now you have changed the whole cake. It does not taste the same. It does not look the same. It is something totally different. And it is something that other people who have made that same cake no longer recognize. Because you changed the cake. I got the cake and everybody else's cake looks the same but yours. Why? No, nobody, I don't think that anybody wakes up and is like, how can I sin today? I mean, I didn't do that. It was never my intention to wake up and go out and commit some sin. How can I be wrong today? What kind of trouble can I get into today? I mean, it was never that. And this is why it is important to stay within the boundaries of the law, because your intention may be to do good. Even Paul said, when I go to do good, there's evil right there. It's like when you open the refrigerator, there is an apple, but also there are cookies. Okay? The good is the apple. The evil is the cookies. They right there. It's up to you which one you're going to choose, right? But so if your spirit is already in the habit of choosing good, or you've already decided and determined and intentioned for your day that you're going to choose good, then you're more likely to choose the good. I'm not saying you're going to get it right every time. Yes, we trip and fall, we have mistakes, but you are more likely and you will continue to increase in the habit of choosing the good. But if you're not conditioning yourself to look for the good or to want the good, then you're continuously going to avoid it. It's just like when you're picking, say you get out of a relationship, right? And it might have been a crazy relationship. And then here comes somebody else. They're displaying some of the same characteristics of the last relationship that you tried to get away from, right? And you would think Like us sitting here would think there's no way that you will fall for the same type of stuff again. But the fact of the matter is you got so comfortable with that spirit in that last situation that you would find comfort in that if you have not equipped yourself to find the good. You'll find comfort in that because this is what you're used to. There were women, and I don't know if they still exist. I'm sure they're not on social media saying this loud and proud. But back in my day, my mama and her sisters and her friends and them would tell stories of women that said if they man don't beat them, he don't love them. They would say that. If your man don't beat you, he don't love you. He not jealous enough. He don't care enough. Don't that sound crazy? But they learned to associate getting beat with being loved. And so now that's what they look for as a sign of love. Being beat on. That's what they're familiar with. That's what they've grown accustomed to. This is what they're going to choose. Unconsciously, this is what they're going to choose. You have got to I just shared that verse today. I believe it's 2 Corinthians 10:5. Bring your thoughts into the subjection of the obedience of Christ. You have to work at it every day. It's not a one time, oh, we got it kind of thing. Where is it? Because I talk about this scripture all the time. Casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of God and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ. 2 Corinthians 10:5. Bring them thoughts into obedience. You don't create every thought that you have. You don't, dude. You don't. You're walking around, there are sounds all day. You're thinking about other things. The only way to retrain your mind is when them thoughts pop up. Nope. What the words say about that? Nope. We know better than that. We're not doing that. Get you a name tag and wear that name tag 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I'm a God-fearing woman, a descendant of slaves, a wife, a mother, a daughter, a sister, a friend. I'm all these things and I wear all these labels 24 hours a day. At no time ever do I have to switch out any of these labels. I don't live a life that requires me to lie about how I identify myself at any time. Are you living a life that requires you to lie about who you are? Are you living a life to where you're settling for things that you don't enjoy just to be around people? You sit up here engaging in hood activities when you'd rather be at the museum or at a ballet. But instead, you sitting on the porch passing 40s just to be around some people, not trusting in your faith, not putting the action behind your faith and working to elevate your situation. You just want to stay there and wallow in it. The world is still turning, okay? I know it can be scary, right? Especially, when you're a student of end time prophecy and you see what's going on And a lot of times when you hear people talk, they'll be like, okay, this is it. This is this prophecy coming forth. This is that prophecy coming forth. I'm not saying that that's not what's going on, but the Bible talks about how people will still be marrying and giving in marriage and carrying on until the day of the Lord. Okay. So what I don't want you to do, I don't want you to be caught up in fear and like suspense and like, oh no, the world is coming to an end. I better not. You better keep going until you can't anymore. If it's your intention to educate yourself, go educate yourself. If it's your intention to look for a better job, look for a better job. Nobody knows the day or the hour. Not even Christ himself knows the hour of his return. Okay? So please, it's 2026. I'm sure there's going to be a fresh batch of Christ is returning on Friday, September 12th or whatever. It's going to be a fresh batch of those this year. Don't fall for it. Okay? Don't fall for it. Pick your identity. Choose ye this day who ye will serve. How long will you be caught between two opinions? You're going to love one and hate the other. Why? Because love and hate are action words. I show you with my actions how I feel about you. All right? I hope something I said was helpful. Like, I hope I, got the point home to y'all. I hope something I said was helpful, whether you're listening live or on the replay. Thank you so much for hanging out with me this evening. Y'all, I hope, it seems like this storm gonna be everywhere, at least in the eastern half of the country. So if that applies to you, please be safe. Please be warm. Make sure you have enough food stocked up. Get your flashlights, candles, blankets, all that good stuff. If y'all ain't never had to survive without heat before, it's quite an experience. Everybody get in one room. Keep that door closed. Get you some plastic or some window, plastic or a blanket, a thick blanket to put over the windows. Put you a towel under the door jamb there and stay in that room. Stay in that room and let the heat grow in that room. I'm definitely praying for all of you guys. I hope that this storm is not as bad as they say it's going to be. And please don't let the power go out, Lord. Please. If I got to be stuck in the house, I need some electricity. You know what I'm saying? All right, y'all. I don't know what's coming up next with my husband. I'm trying to get him back here in front of y'all again pretty soon. We were supposed to be having a Sabbath event, but because of the storm, we are not. So we will be at home. But I will keep y'all posted on things we have next. We are working on F3. We are working on a location for Shabbat services next month. We thought we had a place, but they are totally booked up for like the next few months. I think he said until like May. So back to the drawing board. We are looking for a place. So please be praying for us that something comes through. F3 will be July 4th weekend. I know I had told some of y'all that I wasn't sure, that I had to check. F3 will be on July 4th weekend. So go ahead and put in for your vacation days and all that good stuff. I cannot wait to see you all here in Atlanta. If you would like to be helpful to this ministry, please, you can donate right here. Cash App. Look, here I am over here. Cash App $ the House of Mono. Or you can support my content at Miss Mono's World. Like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff, wherever you have to do. Thank you so much for hanging out with me this evening. Again, I hope something that I said was helpful to you, whether you're listening live or on the replay. I will see you right back here, Lord willing, same black time, same black station, YouTube at Monologue McGad, Thursday night, 8 o'clock. I love you so much. Shalom, shalom, and good night. Oh, that was the wrong one. My bad. Here y'all go.
Doing gang things.
Mono.
Living super clean. That it came up.
One time for my king doing king things. Mom these hoes cause he know he got a good thing. I
Tune in to Why Boaz Don't Want Your Ass with your host, Miss Mono.
Shalom and shalom, sisters and cousins, and praise the Lord, saints. It's It's your favorite housewife, Miss Mono.
Every Thursday from 8 to 10 p.m. Live on YouTube at Miss Mono's World and Monologue Maga. Now also available on Nasaya TV on Roku and Fire Stick. Why Boaz Don't Want Your Ass.